What's up, tragedies? This is Stigmata and welcome to a new video. Today we're diving into your branded replays. I'll be showcasing your best plays, pointing out key mistakes and breaking down what could have been done better so we all level up together. So let's sharpen those chains and get to it. Let's do it. And what do we have here? We're gonna actually grab a Quam, but we are extra deck locked for the rest of the turn, but we can establish some good plays by banishing the Mercourier. We can then send an Albaz to work with the branded in red during the next turn because there's no end phase this turn. And that's what we're gonna do, and we also top deck in the Cartesia, which is really great. So how many disruptions is this? This is a Mirror Jade summon, and the Cartesia can fuse with the Mirror Jade into Grangwignol, which will trigger the Quam to reborn the Mirror Jade again for another banish. That's double disruption. The Call by the Grave is a triple disruption, and the Grangwignol can summon a... we actually play Lulu, so that's a quadra disruption. Let's go. Seems good. We have slash draw. Grabbing another slash draw. What the? Lethal damage? How did that happen? Let's hop in another match. What the? Oh boy, this is going to take an eternity. Ashen and Snake Eye Ash, I'm not sure about that honestly, because they can still just send another body and access Poplar anyway, right? Now you get to go for Zombie Vampire. What is our mills? We get to mill an additional 3 cards, and we milled the gas. We milled, holy moly! We milled a Golden Sword Soul. We have a Mercourier engraved. We can trigger the Golden Sword Soul by banishing our own Mercourier to reborn the Cartesia and make a freaking turn 0. Let's fucking go. We also send a branded sword to recover the Mercourier. Very good. We can trigger up to 2 fusions this turn. If we use Havnis for a fusion summon, we can trigger both the Havnis and the Cartesia fusion. Cartesia fuses with Havnis, go into a fusion, then Havnis on a separate chain link will trigger to perform another fusion. If we do that, let's see. We are going for a Grangwignol, okay, and Havnis is going to be further fusion summoning into Albion potentially. No, Lubellion, right? And we have another Albaz in hand. Discard the Albaz, fuse into a Mirror Jade. Very well. Now, we have our non-target monster banish. When are we going to banish? We also have a potential disruption. Bro, we have... do we play this being Lulu? No, we don't, but... this is... bro, oh my... out of nowhere. We have Mirror Jade banish, Mercourier monster negate, Magnum Hunt is going to search for a dragon during the end phase, the monster which is Lubellion or Titan Clad that we send off of Mirror Jade banish will trigger during the end phase to get us a branded spell or trap, or summon an Albaz onto our side of the field to fuse with their field. The Grangwignol could summon a Quam, which could send an Albaz to perform the same play but during the main phase. Like, holy mills, bro, holy mills. That was good. That was so good. Negate the poplar? I'm not sure about that, but since the hype of turn 0, I will just pass on this misplay, I guess. I will not slay you for it. Grand Ignore triggers, float off the field, summon a Quem. Quem sends an Albaz or Ecclesia. Sends an Albaz. Banish the Oaks. We didn't trigger the Quem to reborn the Albaz. We could trigger the Quem now. No? Yes. We trigger the Quem now to fusion summon into our Albion. Albion is going to perform another fusion summon. We used the Rebellion for the first fusion summon. Now we use the Albion. No? Bro, we don't play a second Albion? Why do we fuse with the moon? Why? Where is your Albions, mate? There's one in grave and you play a second one. We actually don't play a second Albion. So I don't agree with people playing Albion at 1 because this card is your main boss monster in the extra deck. It's the most important piece in your extra. You can play Mirage at 1, you can play Grand Wignall at 1, you can play any extra deck piece at 1, but not the Albion. Albion performs a fusion summon for you, it sets a branded spell or traps, it does a lot for you. You cannot play Albion at 1. Also, it's the one of 2 dark dragons that you have in the extra that you can tribute the Bestial Rebellion over it. You cannot play Albion at 1. That's a huge mistake. Now we have Moon into a Requiem, Lacrima, sends Engraver. So even though we haven't used our disruptions correctly, but having a turn 0 is so powerful. Like, this is literally turn 0. I've been waiting to see a turn 0 branded my entire life. I even attempt to make it sometimes when they use zombie vampire to mill, but maybe the catch was on Havness. Havness helped us mill really good mills, milling a golden sword soul alongside Cartesia, having a bestial in hand, also having a Mercurial engrave to trigger a surge and trigger the golden sorcerer. I mean, if Pro was have scripted this duel to go this way, it wouldn't have gone this way. Good job. And we have Decisive Battle of Golganda. This card is crazy, but unfortunately it's not searchable in any way whatsoever in branded or even Springins. But it mentions Springins in Albaz though. So your cards cannot be destroyed up to once per turn, and you get to send an Albaz fusion from your extra deck to stop a destruction effect. And during the end phase, if you have a fallen Albaz in your field or graveyard, you get to special summon a Springins monster from your hand or deck, which is basically a Springins kit. So the triple effects with this card will help you to pop off during this duel, but again, it's not searchable. Thus, I don't know if I'm going to run this, but I did it before and I didn't regret it, honestly. But it's still not optimal. Now, what do we have here? Yep, start off with the Decisive Battle of Golganda. So we're now immune to the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Cannot be destroyed. Albaz. You have Flameburge. We'll special summon the Masquerina from the back row. Imperm negates. Okay. Can we chain spirits to send a Grangwignol to trigger the Grang to summon a Quem? Could not we have done that? You play Grangwignol? You play Grangwignol? What happened? Albaz, let's go. But you could have done this earlier because the Grangwignol would have been triggered to summon a Quem on a separate chain link after the Flameburge revived the Masquerina. So it was a bit late, but you come late better than you never come. And we get to send a Titanclad to stop the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer from popping our cards. Let's speed this up. Now we have Apollo, which could be just crashed over with the Albaz. We have Springin Skit, adding the branded fusion, return the Call by the Grave. Albion into a Sanctifier, right? Should be over, set a branded Etude. I've seen so many people play Etude today. Let's go. And also we have Albaz the Ashen. Bro, do we want a flame on or what? Okay, let's flame on Dark Souls. You have Diablo Star. Chain link 2 with the Flameburge. Flameburge will reborn double level 1 from the graveyard, as the Diablo Star is going to set an original Sinful Spirit Trap. You have the Grangwignol triggers to summon a Quem or a Disbian Lulu. It's going to be a potential Disbian Lulu because it's the only monster slot opening is the extra monster zone. You got the Promethean Princess being negated with the Retribution. Now we get to recycle our own fusions from the graveyard. Return the Titanclad in Albion to negate the special summon. You push back the Quem with the Subversion. And now we get to steal your DBE. Let's go. DBE popping 2 cards on the field. And now we Goddess the Lulu and negate the whole field, but you cannot chain the DBE for the Goddess to pop it because Goddess states unless you're targeting this card is unaffected, and DBE is non-target pop, so it wouldn't have worked. Let's clear up some bodies. We also get to steal a monster from the graveyard. Sanctifier, come to me, right? Also, what's worth noticing is that Etude of the Branded works with the Bestial Rebellion. Any monster sent to the graveyard for an extra deck summon or banished instead. This is a huge effect. Now he's reborning the DBE onto his side of the field and we're giving us a Masquerina. Very good. But again, this is just a stupid play because the decisive battle of Golgamda counters DBE. You cannot pop us at least once per turn. Now we have Chaos Archfiend. What the? We also protect the Chaos Archfiend. Attack all monsters your opponent controls. You got to get rid of the Link Rebo first, then you get rid of the DBE to gain a boost, to then take out the Divine Carnage, right? That's right. Couldn't you have bought the Bestial Rebellion in attack position? This could have been game, but we have Chaos Angel for game. Let's go. This is amazing. Holy shit. Bro, this is spicy. And now with the same spicy list, which happens to have Sword Soul Iris as well. Let's go. We have a Quem, Chilling Block with a Tragedy. Tragedy could search for an Albaz. Quem would send a Retribution, I believe, or a Mercurial to banish with Bestial. Alright. Mercurial triggers to search a Sharded Dragon. Sharded Dragon could dump a Albaz or a Retribution. You grab a Golden Sword Soul. Holy Sword Soul hand, bro. Branded Fusion with the Chaos Niftis into a Rimbram or a Libellion Searing Dragon. Discard the Golden Sword Soul or the Ecclesia to reborn with the Quem. Very good. And now we have our Mirror Jade. Okay, let's speed this up. So, how many disruptions is this? Double disruption, maybe triple if we get the Iris on field. I don't know, let's see. Bestial Rebellion, grabbing a Serenir. This a mirror match or what? Yup, it is a mirror match actually, and this bro is popping off like crazy with the Lure of Darkness, banish Mercurial to draw double cards, then trigger a surge, then draw an additional card. Holy moly. You know, sometimes Lure of Darkness whip your entire hand. Sometimes it makes you screwed up. I don't know, but I'm not a fan of Lure of Darkness myself. I've screwed up in big tournaments because of this card big times. Now we banish the Chaos Niftis with the Bestial. We banish with Mirror Jade, so you could not reborn the Bestial Rebellion from grave, but we really have not a Bestial Rebellion though. Grab the Cartesia. Branded Fusion. Right. Get an Albion. Albion into... Now we get an Ecclesia, which will get Finger. Finger the Ecclesia, go for a Sanctifier Dragon. Reborn the Albion, set up the Branded Lost, and we have the Branded Opening. We grab a Branded Fusion, which is not relevant in this situation. Okay, grab the other Branded Fusion. What is going on? Boost plays are not optimal one bit. Okay. Protect the Albion Sanctifier with the opening. And now we get a Fallen Albaz to summon a Coritis. I mean, bro, you did not go for a Mirror Jade? Are you afraid of Mirror Jade wipe this much? I mean, your field will get wiped, but you still get a Branded Banishment at least. Oh, you get a Branded Banishment anyway, or a Branded in red. Now what do we have here? We have the Bestial Rebellion. Trigger to banish the Tragedy, which we will deny the Bestial Summon and the Tragedy Search. And reborn an Albaz into our side of the field to fuse with the Golden Sword Soul, I believe. No, with the Mirror Jade. Now we fuse with the Mirror Jade. Alright? But we lose our field during the end phase, right? No, we couldn't activate Mirror Jade because... Oh, lost. That's unfortunate. We discard the Iris, triggering the Tragedy to grab an Aliber. Return the Ecclesia, go into an Albion. And Albion will get negated by the Mercurial. Okay? We grab the Branded Banishment and let's swipe the Coritis, but the Mirror Jade will vanish. This will trigger the Golden Sorcerer to reborn the Iris, which I could not catch the animation. I'm sorry. Yeah, but at least we catch the Albaz one. Okay, set up the Banishment. The field doesn't get wiped because we were under effective loss. We could not activate Mirror Jade. Holy shit, holy follow-up, bro. How are we going to play through this? We got the Branded Banishment to reborn the Quam, to perform a... The big fusion summon is coming. Yep. Take up the Mirror Jade and the Albaz for a Coritis. You get to then recycle one of your banished pieces, which is going to be... what? Recycle what? Through some of the Cartesia. Okay, wipe some bodies. What are you doing? Are we just grinding? What? We have Albaz the Ashen. Triggers every time a card leaves your field by opponent card effect. It just reborns. And not just reborns, it gives you a target protection. All of your other monsters cannot be targeted now, and it gains a boost, which we lost because of the coritis? Are you kidding me? I mean, this boost was really good. You didn't have to reduce the field. They should have taken the Sanctifier, but I believe because we want to go for a Chaos Archfiend. Let's go. And this fool summoned the Bestial in attack position. Those bodies, all of them, are just going to be meat for the Chaos Archery. This can attack every single body the opponent controls, and when it leaves the field by the opponent, you get to summon a Chaos Angel from the extra. That's crazy. Now we summon a Mirage to banish the Chaos Archery, which will trigger to get a Chaos Angel, right? Summon the Chaos Angel, and we trigger the Albaz the Ashen to reborn because a monster leaves the field through an opponent card effect. Now we cannot be targeted. Now banish the regained. No more draws and recycle your pieces for you. Right? Albaz, grab a branded fusion. Cartesia adds back. Also search on Albaz. I mean, boy. But this Chaos Angel was not made with a light or dark, thus it's not unaffected, and our monsters cannot be destroyed. Still can't be destroyed by battle. We use the Mercurier that the opponent gave us to negate the Albaz. We still untargetable. I mean, this Albaz the Ashen is really good. Sometimes, you know, it will come in clutch. Okay, we have a Rimbrum. Bestial Rebellion. We don't have another branded spell or trap. Drawblit, reduce, wipe some bodies. We got the Albaz summon. So the Albaz the Ashen, it's similar to Albaz effect from the graveyard, but Albaz effect only triggers if the opponent deals with one of your fusion monsters. But Albaz the Ashen, if the opponent deals with any monster, you get to reborn it with a boost. We will deny the we will deny the Bestial summon again and deny the Mercurier banish and search. I mean, this move is so annoying, but we still get a Bestial on field to trigger the tragedy to say a branded fusion. Very well done. Now what do we have here? We have a Titan Clad. Alright. Do we win? I mean, we still win, right? Mercurier negate. Albaz the Ashen for game. I believe so. Let's go. Albaz the Ashen for game. Very well done. We're going second against Blue Eyes or Primate Fiendsmith. Yeah, Blue Eyes. No, Blue Eyes somehow does not care about Maxi. They still will end on Disruption under Maxi for one draw, which is potentially like maybe they have a Majesty. They could be having a Drill Beam, or the Search Drill Beam. It's a public knowledge. Veiler in hand. They just don't care about Maxi. Thus, when is the perfect moment to use Maxi against Blue Eyes? I would say when they attempt to reborn the maiden after they summon a blue eyes onto the field, this when you should maxi, because this at least will guarantee you a double draw. Unless you just want them to end their turn early and don't commit for much, so you can cook on your turn. It's a maxi in all the cases. You can just fire this maxi in the draw phase, but it's on you if this maxi do shit, because it will do shit most of the times against blue eyes. Spirits, send the Shard Dragon, add a Spring's Kit. We got the Titan Cladding Graveyard threat in Albaz Blade during the end phase. Got the Guardian Quems and the Retribution, and now we have the Cartesia. Get negated with the Impermanence. We still have Branded in White. Branded in White, but we are going to get a Kit. Kit adds a Branded Fusion. So you mean you're going to return the Mercurial or return the Branded in White? Or maybe you get cheesy and return the Branded Fusion, because man, this Drill Beam is going to get you good with that Branded Fusion. Grabbing Branded Fusion was not a good idea, to be honest, because Drill Beam would just solo. Branded in White is the way, as we return the Branded Fusion. Let's go! We have Verti Anaconda, and I believe this Anaconda is going to get popping by Majesty. They has to pop it. Like, they have to, as we reborn the Shard Dragon to get rid of the blue eyes with an Albalinatus, so we could use the Branded in White without being negated by the Drill Beam. This is amazing. This is an amazing play, bro. Let's go. Get the blue eyes on the field, but it's Branded White has been resolved already. Get the Mirror Jade. Right? Mirror Jade is here. And now what do we have from here? We have a Branded White as back. Okay. Drill Beam. Forcing the Drill Beam. Very good. Banish. Okay. Your field gets wiped during the end phase. Very good. As we go for a Disbian Lulu. Very good. Very good. Very good. So see the privilege of not being fusion locked. Now we get an Albaz to fusion summon into the Albion. We have not gone for Albion this entire turn. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Another Mirror Jade. That's the way. You can keep the banish for the next turn, since we already used Titan Clad Albion in graveyard for, I mean, beautifully done, bro. Beautifully done. Alright, cuties, let's actually watch this mirror match. And we have Runic fucking Slumber. What the fuck are you cooking? Tragedy? Okay. I'm not looking in your extra. I'm just leave it as a surprise. I'm not looking at the extra. I'm sorry, I cannot hold it. Oh, show me your extra, mate. You have an Anaconda Despair. This is stand. Oh, there are the Runic little fuckers. Right? Let's go. This is pretty standard. Now we banish the Albaz, so we get the fuse with the on-hand Cartesia. Send the Saronir to then send a. Now we have the Cartesia, right? But we would use our normal summon. This is a mirror match, so the grass is no good, and you have a fucking dimensional barrier in a mirror match, yet you submitted this one. Are you crazy? right? Banish 3. Didn't recycle the quem for the opponent. Well done on that. So you have to think, what do you want more? Do you want a desperate draw, or you want your opponent to recover? And hell no, I don't want my opponent to recover. Fuck that one draw. Good job on not choosing to draw. Okay, and about this bestial, I told you before, if you have a bestial, well, if you have other bestial than Magnum, if you have a Magnum hub, you have to use it on the opponent's turn. But if you have another bestial, don't use bestials on Albaz, because they still make other plays. So they had the branded regain, they accessed the Albion to set a branded banishment, they accessed a Grangugnol. But if you keep the bestial in your hand during their turn and stop the banishment, that's even better. But we already searched another bestial to stop the banishment, so not that big of a deal. We attempt to summon the Albaz, attempt to fusion summon, and now we have to declare fusion monsters because the bestial puts the banishment on check. They have a Saronir in hand, so if we attempt to fusion summon, they will just simply banish with the bestial. So we had to declare fusion monsters, but they have the dreaded super poly to fusion summon into a Mirror Jade anyway, and Mirror Jade is going to be activatable, but it's going to be negated, meaning that you get to send an Albion to trigger during the end phase, and Mirror Jade will still be activatable again during the next turn. That's huge. Wipe the Saronir. Saronir sends a branded retribution. Retribution adds back the branded fusion. I mean, it wasn't fair to hard open the dimensional barrier, but it was completely fair enough for the opponent to open super poly. That's fair, completely fair. And now the opponent got a huge advantage. They got an Albion engraved. They can send a Rimbram during the next turn. The Mirror Jade is still activatable. And the Albion is going to say a branded retribution to counter the branded banishment, and they still have a Saronir engraved. Now they attempt to banish with the Mirror Jade, but the Runic Slumber, the freezing curses, I mean, will negate the Mirror Jade. Also banish top 3 cards from the opponent's deck. Bestial Rebellion setting a branded lost. I mean, why? Why? You cannot negate under lost, mate. And what's even more crazy is that we can activate branded banishment within the window of them not being able to respond to our fusion summon, and summon the Albion from grave, and they will not be able to use the Saronir on their hand. They have Saronir, and that's what we exactly doing. We're going to fuse with the potentially the Lobelian Searing Dragon, since it will return itself back to the deck, but instead we're simply fusing with why would you fuse with your Bestial Rebellion when you could have fused with the Lobelian Searing Dragon? Because the Lobelian Searing Dragon can return itself from the banishment at the end of the chain link. At the end of the chain link order, the Lobelian Searing Dragon will recycle itself from banishment for a Mirror Jade. This would have kept another body on your field for a potential lethal damage. That was the play, I guess, right? But we didn't do it despite this. I mean, we could have recycled the Albion anyway, but not that big of a deal. Recycle, pop the Mirror Jade. I mean, popping the Mirror Jade, you're not afraid of the back row? This back row is a private knowledge, right? We don't know what's in the back row, but finger, and now you get to negate. You send the Quam, not a Cartesia. What the? You send the Cartesia, mate. Or maybe you want to summon the Cartesia, right? Is there Albaz engraved? Yes, indeed. You want to summon the Cartesia. Uh, you didn't keep the Cartesia in hand for a draw, but I guess it's okay since... I mean... I was wondering why he didn't keep the Cartesia on hand for an additional Omni Negate, but I think he's thinking right. Now, instead of getting one negate, why would I go for one negate when I can go for a triple Omni Negate? You know, man, if you don't play the Light and Darkness Dragon, I will slaughter you. Yes, we play hell. Yeah, we play the Light and Darkness Dragon. We have Light and Darkness Dragon play right here, right now. Let's go. On the Branded Fusion, returning back to the hand. Triggering the lost to add the Golden Sword Soul. Negate! But, you know, you can take the Light and Darkness Dragon. Now we get to negate with the Dragoon. We also get to reborn a dragon from our graveyard. What's gonna be? Going to be an Albion. Very good. Branded Fusion! Get negated! Not today! And from here, you don't have another retribution, so you're screwed up. Get the hell out of here. Good job, good job. What do we have here? This is a spicy hand. Let's see what can we accomplish with this as we set a gold Sark first. Why would you set a normal spell then activate it right away? It helps you to check if the opponent is holding a hand trap like a Maxi or a fuwa. This helps you to make a quick check before you decide which line are you going to make, you know. Let's banish a Tragedy, grab an Albaz and High Spirits, Branded Fusion, we get the fuwa, right? We'll go for straight up Sanctifier and we'll use the spirits to get an Albion in the graveyard. Okay. Shouldn't we have Albaz in graveyard? Okay. We grab another Shrouded. I mean, you didn't have to, right? It still work. I don't think he plays a Golden Sword Soul. Okay. Another fuwa, right? And we didn't negate with the Mercurier. We'll save our negate for something else. Let's speed this up. Okay. Let's speed a little knight. This speed a little knight will counter the Albaz attempting to fuse with their field. Push the Albaz in the back row, and now we're forced to use Sanctifier. Give them the fuwa, and now we attempt to fuse. SP will attempt to banish, and now we negate. We'll fuse with the SP into a Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade, non-target monster banishing the Doom Dragon. Right? Snake Eye Oak, summon the Ash, add the Poplar summon, add the field spell. Or the Snake Eye Chase. This will summon a Diablo Star from the back row during the end phase for an Omni Negate. Now, our Mirror Jade is stuck in the back row alongside Albaz. They are chilling. Oh man, imagine if Branded normalizing playing Doom Dragon in the extra. That would be insane. Lacrima sends a engraver, and now we're popping off with the sequence into a Desiree, I believe. No, Lacrima, and we're going for Caesar, right? Or no, we're going for Desiree, as I said. Burn, Equip. This Desiree can negate up to 3 cards on the field, non-target. Reborn the Flameburge, get the Diabloster on the back row, negate the Promethean, go into an Apollo, and end our turn. Snake Eye Chase will summon a Diabloster, which will set the original symbol of Betrayal. This is an Omnigate. Now we get our follow-up. Good job on you playing through double Fuwalos, and still the opponent could not perform a lethal damage. Holding on Sanctifier was smart. Just leave the Sanctifier on field. They know that this Sanctifier is a big threat, that they had to take it by battle, and they may be thinking, after I take this Sanctifier by battle, or at least force this Sanctifier to use its effect, I will just go main phase 2 and just win the duel from there. But they are just being delusional, because that's how tricky Branded could be when Branded player could pull their opponent into the grind game. And we have successfully pulled our opponent into the grind game. We want this, right? Show me the way. You got a Branded in white, add. But this Desiree is a big problem. This will negate up to 3 cards on the field. So we have to bait this Desiree. How could we bait this Desiree? I'm thinking that only card that will bait the Desiree, either the Branded Fusion or you activating double cards at the same time. Something like a Cartesia plus a High Spirits at the same time, or a Deployment plus an High Spirits. This will have the Snake Eye player to get greedy and negate the Spirits alongside the other card and maybe the Quam, so that your Branded Fusion resolves. Is that the play? Also, we have another quick play effect. We could chain the Branded in white alongside the... Oh, we negate the Branded in white. Okay. What did we have in graveyard? So, he negated Branded in white because you can potentially go for a Libellion Searing Dragon. You banish the Mercurial afterwards, and the Mercurial will chain link block the Searing Dragon from being negated by the Apollo. Or just waste the Desiree to negate the Libellion. That's why we only negate the Branded in white. Sorry. And how would we negate... What? Okay. Fusion deployment. Oh, that's the play. He will negate. He will surely negate Deuce. That's what I said. He has to negate this. It's like 3 cards negate. Now our Branded Fusion is safe, and that was the play. This was the goal. The goal was have the Branded Fusion activatable. Now we get a Rimbrum to counter the Apollo and put the Apollo, I should say, on check. Special summon the Shadow Dragon onto the field to get the Cartesia, and then perform a fusion summon into our Albion. Now Albion is live. Fusion summon. Albion is here. And the Apollo, if the Apollo attempts to negate, we will negate, mate. Chaos Star Source. Pop 2 cards on the field, and if the Apollo negates, we will spin it back to the Desiree. Don't want to negate with this. Desiree is still stuck on the field, but the Rimbrum puts the Desiree on check. Got to get rid of this Rimbrum, and did we just steal a Flameburge? I mean, it would have been a smart idea if you have an open monster slot to summon the Mirror Jade. But if they crash into this Flameburge, they will get to reborn their level 1s from a graveyard. What the fuck are you doing, mate? Right? Crash in the Flameburge? Or how will you get this Flameburge in the graveyard? Yeah, Engraver, just like what I said. He will give the Flameburge in graveyard and reborn double level 1. You did this to yourself. But we're still good. We still have Rimbram. We have also a follow-up in Graveyard. We have an Albion, we have a Cortesia, we have Spirits. All of those cards will add back. The Albion will not add back, but it will send a Retribution during the next turn. Draw a card, Tribute Summon. Okay, and boy. We already entered battle phase, we couldn't do anything else. Okay. It's already been 2 turns. Send the Retribution as a branded in white, not a branded fusion. So as long as you can play around Ash Blossom, just don't go for the branded fusion. You don't have to. Guardian Chimera is here. We could Chain Link block this with a Quem and a Tragedy, but the Desiree could negate, right? And the Macquarie would then negate. Now we have our Sanctifier, and the Promethean is going to destroy the Rimbram, and Impermanence is going to negate the Guardian Chimera, so the Rimbram... Oh man, we could not negate the Promethean with Rimbram, then spin back the Desiree, but then Desiree would negate, so we held on to the Rimbram negate for that. That's the play. We still have Rimbram now because we have protected the Rimbram with the planet opening. Get Droll, special summon the Cortesia. This Desiree is still on check. Rimbram negates. And spin the Desiree back if you want to. For sure we're gonna spin this back. Okay, we have the Ad Libitum. Get a Coritis onto the field. And GG. Right? Wipe this fool. Fiendsmith. So when do we use Bestials against Fiendsmith? Don't let Engraver attempting to reborn itself to eat your Bestial, because it's not optimal. They still can make a sequence and continue their plays like nothing. So this Bestial isn't on the correct place, because Lacrima could reborn the Engraver from the Banished and they can still go in a Caesar or a Desiree like nothing happened. And now we have Sequence, and just like what I said, reborn the Engraver from Banished. And we didn't Nibiru? I mean, you should have seen this coming, right? Also, the other Bestial in hand, we didn't use it. Do we get the chance to use the other Bestials even? I think not. This could have turned into a Banish, double disruption through the Saronir and Baldric, then a triple disruption through Baldric's secondary effect. But now we're fucked up, right? I'm curious on our top deck. We need to top deck into something good. Something really good. How are we gonna play through this? Like, didn't you really see the Caesar coming? What were you thinking about? Like, double special summon negate, triple monster negate, omni negate, double banish? What the? 9 disruption? Do you have Promethean? Oh, thank God, we don't have Promethean. That's 9 disruption actually. Maybe if they have a hand trap, that's a 10 disruption. Get the hell out of here. 5 disruption. Let's go. Triple tactics, force in Omni negate. Okay. Now, we're still fucked up. It all comes to the shrouded top deck. And I believe since we submitted this replay, we top deck into what we need. And when I say what we need, I don't know exactly what we need, honestly, because this situation is fucked up. They still have a monster negate, they still have, a special summon negate, they still have double monster banish, still have an omni negate, so what is our top deck? A Quem! That's perfect! Yup, we can go in. You literally omni negate on the Quem? Alright? We can now go into Despair, and we also have a Boldrake summon. I think we're in a gold spot. I'm curious why they didn't use Masquerina yet. I mean, that's the advantage of playing synchros and branded. They held on onto the Masquerina because they didn't see anything coming. All they see on the field was a double bestial backed up by a negated Quem. What could this possibly do? Nothing, unless you're playing the unrestricted synchro variant of branded. This Despair turns the whole game for us. Now we can negate or destroy the Masquerina. Now we have a potential negate for the Caesar, or we could even deal with the Caesar this turn. So, good job. Yes, negate or destroy. We don't have a banish card, so we will negate. And this Despair is still activatable during the next turn. Send a Bestial Rebellion. Special summon onto the field, and we have a branded lost into a Verity Anaconda for a Mirror Jade or a Sanctifier, I don't know. Sanctifier for making more plays, more lines, more interactions during the opponent's turn. Also, we have our monster negate for the Caesar attempting to disrupt or summon with the Sanctifier. Negate with the Caesar met by a negate with the Mercurial. Also grab a branded spell or trap as a discard fodder because we want to keep the Nibiru in our hand. Good job. Albaz, come onto the field. Oh man, this is just an epic animation. Fusion summon into a Mirror Jade. Yep. And we are going to banish the Flameberge potentially. How we were able to respond to the freaking branded lost? What wrong have we done? We did something fucked up here. So we did special summon Albaz. So when we negated the Caesar, actually we couldn't do anything about this. Maybe you're thinking you couldn't respond to the branded lost. We attempt to fusion summon, right? Right. The material detached from the Caesar was a Lacrima, and Albaz was on chain link 2, the Lacrima was on chain link 1 because it's the opponent's turn. The opponent's turn has a player priority to activate their effect first, so it's a mandatory. They had to activate Lacrima, then we chain link 2 and Albaz to fusion summon. Thus our fusion summon wasn't on chain link 1. Thus they were able to respond with an Ash Blossom for the branded lost, and that's how it's been. Mirror Jade banished the Flame Burst, I believe. Yep. And we have a Golden Sword Soul for a Quem. Okay. Also recycling the Golden Sword Soul. Maybe you could have sent a branded sword to get the Golden Sword Soul in your hand. Okay. Mirror Jade into the back row. Now we cannot summon another Mirror Jade. Let's speed this up since now we have this bitter. Let's go. We steal the Mirror Jade into a goddess, and the Quem will reborn the Mirror Jade, but it's still going to be negated. Also channeling the Quem with a Saronir, so the goddess does not negate. The Mirror Jade will still be negated, but maybe you still have summoned it in attack position though. Should have summoned it in attack, right? Mirror Jade, we just get a Titan Claving Graveyard. We don't care about the Vanish at this point. Nibiru the whole freaking field. Good job. So we didn't keep the Nibiru for the next turn. We keep the Nibiru for the next turn after the next turn. Good job. I mean, it came into a clutch. I mean, how could they potentially, could they have dealt a lethal damage? I believe so. So, good job on keeping that Nibiru on hand and adding the branded fusion to use as a discard fodder. Now we have Cartesia. Now we will grab our follow-up Retribution to negate a special summon. We have also a Bestial banishing the Mercurier. Mercurier will grab a Shadow Dragon, and we'll grab the Mercurier again. Where is the Queen mate? Right. Cartesia special summon, and maybe go for Baron the Floor. Yes, indeed. Baron the Floor is here, and isn't this a GG? The Spitter, reborn the Sylvia, pop the Divine Temple, reborn. This is just pulling. Good job, bro. Good job.